Hello, welcome to part 63 of Clinical Physiotherapy MCQ series. Here we gon discuss day-to-day clinical scenario with detailed explanation. Now don't waste our time, let's move to question number 311. A patient has just undergone anterior cruciate ligament reconstruction and presents for physical therapy 7 days after surgery. Which of the following treatments will be most effective at speeding recovery? Option A, progressive active range of motion exercises. Option B, isometric quadriceps strengthening. Option C, resisted hamstring curls. Option D, progressive increased weight bearing. And the answer is Option B, isometric quadriceps strengthening. Explanation for this question is, Option B, numerous studies indicate that maintaining quadricep function after knee surgery speeds recovery. This is the best initial treatment of the choices given, although extension stretching would also be a good one. And Option A, this is important, but not the most important. And Option C, this is not appropriate for immediate treatment. And Option D, important, but not the most important. Now let's move to question number 312. A physical therapist is examining a patient who sustained a right tibial fracture 1 year ago and is now fully healed. The physical therapist's measure of the length of the patient's right tibia is 14 in 36 centimeters, and of the left tibia, 15 in 38 centimeters. As a result of the tibial shortening, which of the following muscles would most likely become progressively tight? Option A, left tensor fascia latae. Option B, left piriformis. Option C, right gluteus medius. Option D, right adductor magnus. And the answer is Option C, right gluteus medius. Explanation for this question is, the left tensor fascia latae would be chronically stretched, rather than shortened. The piriformis is an extensor and lateral, external, rotator of the hip and would not be as likely to be affected. The right leg is shorter, so in standing, the patient's right hip should be lower than the left. This relatively places the right lower extremity in abduction and the left lower extremity in adduction. This chronic posturing would most likely cause tightness in the right hip abductors and the left hip adductors. Of all the options, the right gluteus medius muscle is the most likely to be tight, because it is a right hip abductor. The right adductors would be in a chronically lengthened position and would not be as likely to be affected. Now let's move question number 313. A patient receiving physical therapy status post 10 weeks after an elbow fracture for a significant flexion joint contracture. The patient's physician states the fracture is well healed. Which of the following is the most appropriate initial intervention to improve range of motion? Option A, grade 2 and 3 joint mobilizations. Option B, progressive active assisted range of motion to elbow joint. Option C, progressive stretching and passive range of motion to elbow joint. Option D, progressive resisted active range of motion exercises to elbow joint. And the answer is Option A, grade 2 and 3 joint mobilizations. Explanation for this question is, Option A, joint mobilizations will be quite effective initially to improve range of motion, especially for contracted joint tissue. Option B, this is not the most appropriate intervention. Option C, stretching and passive range of motion will be a great adjunct to improve range of motion. Option D, this is not the most appropriate answer. Now let's move to question number 314. A physical therapist is working with a patient with metastatic breast cancer who has been told that she has only months to live. She is quite angry and disruptive during therapy. What is the most appropriate intervention for this patient? Option A, allow the patient to express her anger while refocusing her on effective coping strategies. Option B, forbid all expressions of anger as she is only hurting herself. Option C, provide honest, accurate information about her illness and rehab plan of care. Option D, provide opportunities for the patient to question her impending death but limit all expressions of anger. And the answer is option A. Allow the patient to express her anger while refocusing her on effective coping strategies. Explanation for this question is, anger is a recognized stage in the psychological adaptation to death and dying. Kubler-Ross, patients should be allowed to express anger, frustration, and resentment. A helpful strategy is to redirect the patient to achieve effective coping strategies, anger management techniques. While honest, accurate information is important, it is not the most useful strategy for this patient at this time. Now let's move to question number 315. A patient with functional urinary incontinence should most benefit from which of the following exercise interventions? Option A. Core stabilization. Option B. Cardiovascular training. Option C. Fine motor skill development. Option D. Pelvic floor muscle strengthening. And the answer is option C. Fine motor skill development. Explanation for this question is, functional urinary incontinence occurs in patients with a normal functioning bladder who have difficulty in reaching the toilet or preparing to urinate, often as a result of decreased fine motor skills and resulting inability to manage the zippers, buttons, and drawstrings on garments. So, that's all for today. If you have any doubts, please comment below. I think you have learned something valuable today. See you on the next part, that's part 64. See you till then, bye bye.